KXLY News Center in downtown Spokane. Good morning, Northwest. Working for you.
Now on KXLY4's Good Morning Northwest, tragedy on the Spokane River. A 4-year-old boy dies after spending nearly an hour underwater.
Water rescuers tried tirelessly to save that child's life, but in the end, he was just in the water far too long. A message from first responders about staying safe around the river.
The president's son speaking out for the first time about his meeting with a Russian lawyer, how lawmakers on Capitol Hill are responding.
And the U.S. is one step closer to hosting the Olympic Games, but it could still be over a decade before that ever happens. Good morning, Northwest. I'm Katie Curry in for Robin Nance this morning.
And I'm Derek Dice. It is Wednesday, July the 12th. Mark Peterson here with a look at that first alert forecast. All right, we've had low and mid 80s the last couple days, and now we're creeping up to those upper 80s, aren't we?
87 degrees today. You're absolutely spot on. 90 for Thursday. Friday, 92, and then 94 on Saturday. That will be the hottest day of the forecast period. We have high and dry. Now, the bulk of the heat is to the south of us into California and Arizona, but we're certainly going to see some of that heat sneak into our area. So we're sitting at 60 degrees, 53 into Coeur d'Alene, 54 Kalispell, Pullman, 54 degrees, the Tri-Cities, 67. Hey, keep informed, the KXLY4 weather app, you can use that during good weather and bad weather. Oh, it's going to let you know just how hot it's going to be. And I'll let you know that today we start off mild, 65 degrees, 80 at noon. Our high today, again, an above average, 87 degrees.
Thanks, Mark. A 4-year-old boy died after wandering away from his family and slipping into the Spokane River.
Yeah, that boy disappeared into the river near the 8th hole of the downriver disc golf course. He was in the water for nearly an hour before crews pulled him to shore. KXLY4's Casey Lund is checking things out this morning down near where that incident happened. Casey.
Yeah, Derek, good morning. Katie, good morning. This is a tragic story. Of course, our thoughts are with the family of that young boy. This is where he was last seen, here on the downriver golf course, and we're going to talk a little bit about how strong this water is. But here's what we know about what happened. The parents called 911 around 7:30 last night, saying they turned on their backs on their son for just a second, and then they couldn't see him anymore. Spokane police and fire responding on the water and walking the river, trying to find that young child. Life Flight also helping to search from the air. About an hour after he was reported missing, a rescue team pulled him from the river half a mile from where he was last seen. Fire Chief Brian Schaefer says he didn't have a pulse when those responders first got to him, and they immediately started CPR. It's a heartbreaking reminder of how swift and dangerous the Spokane River can be even this late in the summer.
All parents have had this happen before, whether you're in a department store or out at a park or even at school. You turn your head just for a second and they're gone. When you're next to the river, when you're in the outdoors, you really have to have a heightened sense of awareness and respect for, in this case, this river, because things do happen very fast, very quickly, and especially for a 4-year-old. I mean, they just don't have the capability to respond like an adult would.
And after it was announced that that young man was not going to make it, Fire Chief Brian Schaefer tweeted that first responders did everything humanly possible to save the young boy, that their thoughts and prayers are with the family. Reporting live on the Spokane River this morning, Casey Lund, KXLY4 News.
Residents in Moses Lake are under water restrictions today. The city says water usage has caused reservoirs to drop, and the local wells can't keep up with the demand during these hot summer months. To ensure they don't run out of water, these are the new temporary rules. They apply to lawn watering and car washing. Moses Lake residents living on the even-numbered side of the street are only allowed to water their lawns and wash vehicles on even-numbered days. So today, being the 12th, is the day. If your address is an odd number, those rules apply to you on odd-numbered days.
And Cheney is also restricting water use. A pump broke in the city's biggest well in late June, so Cheney has banned all lawn watering until that pump can be fixed, which could take up to 2 weeks. All right, now to Donald Trump Jr. in his meeting with a Russian lawyer that has Capitol Hill buzzing. The president's son speaking out for the first time about that encounter and his release of emails that outline plans to get dirt on Hillary Clinton to help his father win.
ABC's Janae Norman with his words and reaction from lawmakers. Meanwhile, President Trump tweeted out that he's working hard to bring the Olympics to Los Angeles. The Angel City joins Paris as being one step closer to hosting the games in 2014 and 2018. 2028, If successful, it would mark the third time each city has hosted a Summer Olympics. LA previously hosted the Summer Games in 1932 and 1984. Paris held the Summer Games back in 1900 and 1924. And the Olympic Committee is saying, you two decide who gets what year.
All I'm hearing is that I have 10 years to train. That's
that
all I'm hearing. I have 10 years so I can train for that.
Better start today.
Train to watch.
My Danny is like, he can barely swim, but he's really good at diving. And he asked me if 6-year-olds can be in the Olympics. And I said, well, if you got to get a little bit better. But
16-year-olds could. 10 years to train, right?
There you go.
All right, it's 6:06. Boy, I tell you what, Wednesday morning, middle of the week. And we're going to be in the mid to upper 80s today. It's going to get into the 90s, though. We'll have that full forecast coming up.
The pavilion is getting a redesign in Riverfront Park, but without one very important feature, how people reacted at a meeting with designers last night.
So much. So anyway, yeah, temperature's going to be hot all the way through Saturday.
Yeah, all right.
I'm not complaining, though. I think they look pretty good.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've been there before. We can get through it. Good morning, Northwest. Time is now 6:14.
Do you have a news tip or story idea for us? Well, contact KXLY. You can call the newsroom at 324-4004 or join the conversation on Facebook and Twitter. We're live on Facebook right now. Just search KXLY4 News. You're watching Good Morning Northwest on KXLY.
Let's take a look at what's happening right now. Caiti is adding nearly 3 million more airbags to the largest automotive recall in U.S. history.
The Japanese company, which has a manufacturing plant in Moses Lake, says a chemical drying agent could cause driver's side airbags to rupture. Faulty inflators, which can blast shrapnel into drivers and passengers, have resulted in the recall of tens of millions of vehicles. They have also been linked to more than a dozen deaths around the world. Caiti filed for bankruptcy last month.
U.S. senators are going to have to put off their August vacations for a few weeks. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell announced a delay in the August recess to finish work on health care reform, among other items. Senate Republicans were originally supposed to vote on health care before the 4th of July holiday. McConnell decided to delay that vote so they could revise the bill after waning support from his own party. Mark?
All right, again, over the next 7 days, temperatures into the upper 80s today, low 90s for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Again, the heat of the week, 94 degrees. And then we're cooling into the 80s for next week. A little bit cooler anyway.
All right, well, it was the sunny summer weather, means Spokane's parks are awfully busy.
And the Spokane police see an opportunity there. Have some fun in the sun and build a relationship with the neighborhood. It's called the Police Activities League, and for 6 weeks every summer, police officers and volunteers spend a day a week in parks in West Central, Hilliard, and East Central Spokane. They play sports with the kids and try to model good decision-making skills, because getting to know the neighborhood in a non-traditional setting can help strengthen their bond with the community. It was Superhero Day at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital yesterday. Superheroes doing the window washing and bringing a thrill to some kids who could really use it.
Yesterday, Melissa Luck and I teamed up inside the hospital along with several other KXLY team members to bring some kids a very special surprise.
It's an incomparable joy to bring a smile to a child's face, especially a child who hasn't had much reason to smile.
Oh, you are Wonder Woman, you are.
Today felt pretty incredible to deliver joy to some super patients.
But we also have a bag with some snacks and goodies in here. Do you want to take that?
Wow.
Yeah.
But as we went door to door delivering capes and superhero swag, I was reminded of a little girl I met here last spring. Little Abby, about to celebrate her birthday, confident in her superhero doctors.
Medicine is gonna work.
For today, it's not about that medical treatment. It's about Children's Miracle Network delivering smiles and dreams. Superheroes dangling from windows, pretty cool. A break from the monotony of medical treatment, even better.
Days like this are super fun. Just a break in the routine, a little bit of superhero action when our super patients need it, so it's great.
And as Wonder Woman guided us from room to room, I was elated to see my own favorite Wonder Woman herself. Little Abby, back for one procedure with amazing news to share.
Today's the day. We start maintenance.
A huge step forward in her medical treatment, another miracle made, and another day witnessing the incredible at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital.
She does not know what.
You know what? I have to give a shout out to all the staff. So many of the nurses and the doctors all dress up and get into it too. They're really, really awesome. You can head to KXLY.com right now, find out how to donate to help keep programs like Superhero Day going, and you can read all about the Children's Miracle Network and their mission to help make those miracles happen.
You can also donate to something the kids can really use. Brand new Legos. Buy them on Amazon and have them shipped directly to the hospital, or drop them off during business hours right here at KXLY4. We're located right across the street from the Spokane Arena. They have to be brand new though and unopened, and we know they'll be put to very good use.
Oh, for sure.
Well, boxing champ Floyd Mayweather and UFC great Conor McGregor held their first press conference yesterday, and let's just say the fight will have a tough time living up to the presser.
Plus, Robinson Cano didn't start the All-Star game, but the Mariners star definitely made the biggest impact. Highlights coming up next in sports. Now in KXLY4's Good Morning Northwest, a wanted felon who led police on a dangerous high-speed chase is still on the run today.
And a 4-year-old boy drowns here in the Spokane River after his parents lost sight of him for just moments, they say. A message now from the fire department about keeping an eye on children around the river.
A Coeur d'Alene man lost his life savings to a Facebook scam. He's now speaking out to warn others from falling victim to the same scam.
And a little clumsy and very cute, police in California helped rescue a real-life Winnie the Pooh from a sticky situation. Good morning, Northwest. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Katie Curry, in for Robin Nance. It's Wednesday, July 12th. Mark Peterson is here with your first alert forecast, I should say. And Mark, it's heating up today a bit.
It is. We're starting off relatively mild. We're sitting at 60 degrees, sunny conditions, gorgeous. High pressure dominates much of the Pacific Northwest, and we have just a few little triggers over into parts of Montana and Wyoming with a few showers, but that's it. It is high and dry. Temperatures, again, 60 degrees for us, 56 Omak. Wenatchee, good morning. You're going to be in the upper 80s. Yeah, you're going to see 64 to start your day. Cooler, though, in Moses Lake, 55. Feeling pretty nice. Our day planner forecast, it's going to be about 65 around 8 o'clock. We're going to see temperatures warm up to 80 quickly, and 87 will be our high today into the valley. You can see temperatures bumping up towards 90, so get ready. This is hot weather, and it'll continue all the way through the weekend.
This morning, a family is mourning the loss of their 4-year-old son.
And the boy disappeared into the Spokane River near the 8th hole of the Downriver Disc Golf Course. He was in the water for nearly an hour before crews were able to pull him out. KXLY4's Casey Lund is live near where firefighters pulled him out of the water. Casey.
Yeah, Derek, and the family here on the Downriver Disc Golf Course, as you said, near hole 8 is where they last saw him. They say they turned their backs for just a moment and then he was gone. They called 911 around 7:30 p.m. last night. Firefighters and police responding to this area very quickly, walking the banks of the Spokane River, trying to find that young boy. Life Fight was also helping to try and search from the air. About an hour after that call came in and after he went missing, a rescue team was able to pull him from the river about a half-mile from where he was last seen, closer to the wastewater treatment plant here on the Spokane River. Fire Chief Brian Schaefer says he didn't have a pulse then, and they immediately started CPR, doing everything they could to save that young boy's life. He reminds folks just how powerful the river is, even during these summer months.
I think we appreciate because the flows appear to have gone down, you know, and in downtown Spokane it doesn't look as monstrous as it was before, but realistically below that surface water it's still very turbulent.
Chief Schaefer tweeted later after they announced that that boy wasn't going to make it, that the fire crews and the water rescue crews did everything humanly possible to save his life, and that the fire department has their thoughts and prayers with his family, who's very much hurting this morning. Reporting live on the Spokane River, Casey Lund, KXLY4 News.
Such an awful situation, Casey. Thank you. A wanted felon who led police on a high-speed chase is still on the run this morning.
The chase lasted nearly 5 miles and ended with a crash in Spokane Valley near Park and Broadway. Antonio Ortiz, a passenger inside the fleeing vehicle, says he only knew the suspect from Facebook, but he begged the driver to pull over.
I don't know why you even tried it, because I kept telling him, dude, you're not going to get away, man. This is a small town, you know, you're going to hit somebody.
That suspect hit another car on Park Street. Luckily, no one was seriously injured. The suspect ran away. Police used a dog to track him, but were unsuccessful. He's described as a man in his 30s, last seen wearing camo shorts and a black shirt. If you have any information at all, contact the Spokane County Sheriff's Office.
Well, new on Good Morning Northwest. Spokane major crime detectives need your help finding an armed robber. According to detectives, the victim says a man with a knife approached him in the 9,000 block of North Country Homes Boulevard, demanded keys to his vehicle, and then escaped with the car. The man is believed to be the same one who ran from deputies during a traffic stop yesterday afternoon. He's described as a white man, 25 to 30 years old, with a medium build, shaved head, and tattoos on his arms and neck. He may be driving that stolen car, a 2016 Hyundai Veloster, similar to this photo. If you see the suspect or the vehicle, you're asked to call 911.
And several brush fires reported yesterday and throughout the early morning hours, including this one that happened late last night by the Maple Street Bridge. Michael Trout says he was on his way home when he saw how the fire started.
I saw a group of kids light a freaking firework and blowed up on the grass, and they saw me and they took off.
The fire department was on scene within minutes to put it out, but it serves as a good reminder of how dangerous these dry conditions can be. And our Caroline Flynn is actually one of the people who called that fire in.
Yeah, just on her way home from the movies. Well, it is a scam that started on Facebook and cost one Coeur d'Alene man his life savings. That man, who wishes to remain anonymous, says the text from someone he thought was a friend claimed that he'd won $100,000 through Facebook. While he hadn't spoken with that friend in a while, it was someone he'd always trusted. After only a few exchanges, they started asking him for money for things like taxes and delivery costs. First, it was $750, then $5,000 and $6,000. A full $60,000 later, he was scammed out of his entire life savings.
It's been so hard at work. I haven't been able to play music. My girlfriend wants us to split up now. It's like, it's created the worst of anything I've ever went through in my entire life.
I think all of us have a little bit of that gut instinct, but these scammers are really good and sophisticated at convincing you otherwise.
Now, to protect yourself against cyber scams, the Better Business Bureau says check your social media privacy settings to ensure your posts and friends are not available to the public. And remember, being asked to wire money is a major red flag. Don't do it. Sounds good, too good to be true. It most likely is. Well, a real-life Winnie the Pooh got out of a sticky situation.
With a little help from officials in California, a police officer discovered this bear cub here with its head stuck in a plastic jug. While the officer held the animal down, a Fish and Wildlife agent worked to remove the jug. Officials say the cub's mother watched over the rescue effort from a tree nearby, but amazingly did not interfere. Once freed, the cub scampered back into the woods. All safe and sound, but holy cow, that is too cute.
Back to the 100-acre meadow.
I love how he just starts jumping up and down.
I know. Poor little guy.
So afraid.
So must have been something real good in there, though.
Oh, yeah. Mom's going, I told you. I told you. I told you not to put your head in that container.
Something Mark has heard many a times himself.
There is that. 6:38. It is Wednesday. It's hump day, middle of the week. Working our way to the weekend. And it's going to get hot. Get the sunscreen and get water out. You're going to need both.
And the mysterious disappearance of those 4 young men outside of Philadelphia.
Police confirming the man they arrested earlier this week on an unrelated charge may be involved with the disappearance, but he posted bail last night and is no longer in police custody. 19-year-old Jimmy Patrick was last seen Wednesday. Tom Mio, 21, 22-year-old Mark Sturgis, and 19-year-old Dean Finachero, all missing since Friday. FBI investigators zeroing in on this field outside of Philadelphia using a backhoe, digging and sifting soil by hand, appearing to measure and photograph what they're unearthing, searching for 4 young men missing since last week. The property owned by the family of 20-year-old Cosmo DiNardo, the person of interest.
What we're looking for is information that connects these 4 men together, that may connect them to the property we're searching, connect them to Cosmo DiNardo, perhaps.
DiNardo does have a history of mental illness. Court documents don't elaborate, but he was involuntarily committed to a mental institution for inpatient care and treatment. Here's a look at what's happening right now. Donald Trump Jr. is speaking out about the meeting he had with a Russian attorney.
The president's son says he agreed to sit down with Natalia Veselnitskaya because he thought she had dirt on Hillary Clinton. Trump Jr. said Veselnitskaya didn't have anything significant on Clinton and that meeting ended in less than 30 minutes. But Trump critics aren't buying the explanation, especially since emails show that Trump Jr. was told the information was part of a Russian government effort to help his father. President Trump, meanwhile, has been mostly quiet about this matter, saying his son is a high-quality person.
The Trump administration is on the verge of saying yet to federal agencies using products developed by the popular Russian cybersecurity firm Kaspersky. According to government sources, the company is under increasing scrutiny for allegedly having ties to Russian intelligence services. A final decision could be made in the coming days over whether to strip the Moscow-based firm from the U.S. government's list of approved outside vendors. Removing Kaspersky Lab from the list would likely only impact future contracts.
All right, back here at home, new plans are out for the Riverfront Park Pavilion, but for some people, a key component that was included in the master plan is now missing.
The design includes so much, including LED lighting, a circular platform, and lots of green space, but not a covering, and that has some people very frustrated. Last night, the Parks Board and the design team held a public meeting to share the designs and answer some tough questions. KX4's Grace Ditzler reports.
The pavilion, it's a well-known part of the Spokane skyline and now part of a hot debate. When voters approved the bond to renovate Riverfront Park, the master plan said the pavilion would be covered, but now the latest designs leave that covering off.
And the expert advice is that that structure may not be designed properly to support tons of material as it did during Expo.
Riverfront Park Committee Chairman Ted McGregor says he understands that language was used in the master plan. But now that it's time to work on the pavilion, they're learning covering it would likely mean more money and more risk.
Our bond is not unlimited. It's $65 million. So we're trying to do the best job we can, and we're running into a situation here where it's like experts who do this every day are telling us you're walking into a large amount of risk here, and we're saying maybe there's a better solution.
But that wasn't a good enough answer for some people at this public meeting to discuss the pavilion. City Council President Ben Stuckert said the campaign and he himself explicitly told voters the structure would be covered.
It was word for word, we cover the pavilion. How can we just throw that out? I don't understand.
And Mickey Brown, who served on the Citizens Advisory Committee, agreed.
And all of a sudden now we're being told, no, we're going to put some twinkle lights on the thing and you'll use it 2.5 to 3 months a year and call it good.
He worries if the city doesn't deliver on the cover, voters may think twice about passing another bond.
The taxpayers in the city of Spokane are going to start voting down all these bond issues that are really important, such as schools, hospitals, all these wonderful things for quality of life, because they're not going to trust.
But McGregor hopes people won't lose sight of all that has and will be accomplished with the pavilion and the Riverfront Park project as a whole.
I think we're going to cover it in lights beautifully. We're going to have shade. It's going to be a multi-purpose venue that's going to have greenery under it.
Ditzler reporting.
And crews will likely start work on the pavilion portion of that project in September, with plans to have it complete by the spring of 2019.
Now to an interesting world record. Volvo has set the Guinness World Record for world's largest unboxing.
Yeah, take a look at this. That's 3-year-old big rig enthusiast Joel Jovine. He was asked to help Volvo open up this 80-foot by 14-foot by 18-foot box. Inside that box, Volvo's new V&L long-haul truck. For the record to be official, Guinness required Volvo to have the box completely encapsulate the truck. The box had to be opened by hand, and the truck had to be removed without destroying the box. And apparently, mission was accomplished there, because Joel got the thrill of a lifetime there, being able to ride in that bad boy.
And if you're looking at that thinking, oh, it's just a semi, that is a very nice semi.
Yes, it is. Look at all the digs inside. I would happily live in that. All right, coming up next, Mark Peterson's going to have your final check of the weather.
Thanks for joining us at 6:52 on this Wednesday morning. We'll be right back.
Thanks for watching KXLY. KXLY 4 News is brought to you by Chihuahua Chautauqua, July 14th through the 16th.
The summer sales event is going on now at Dave Smith Alfa Romeo. Come test drive the new Giulia today. 2021 North 4th Street in Coeur d'Alene. DaveSmithAlfaRomeo.com.
What Silverwood moment will you never forget?
A really big ice cream cone.
coaster ride.
Not wanting to go home.
Come to Silverwood and make memories that'll last a lifetime. Lowest price tickets on our website. The Northwest's largest theme park is just north of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Roller coasters are just like the weather.
Lots of ups and downs.
Calm and quiet 1 minute.
Crazy the next.
No matter what happens.
The KXOY First Alert weather will get you through it.
Get summarized at the old Newport Cinema, a mile north of the Y on Newport Highway. And save thousands at the largest super sale ever in Washington on tricked out cars, trucks, SUVs, RVs, motorcycles, and boats. Starting at just $93 a month. The first 1,000 visitors get a gas card worth up to $500 just for coming by. Watch for the summarized mailer. You may have already won a $45,000 dream vacation or Jeep Wrangler. For 5 days only, get summarized and save thousands on cars, trucks, RVs, and more at the old Newport Cinema, a mile north of the Y on Newport Highway. Another Champions Event production.
The highest standard of integrity delivers stability and honor. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of excellence in healthcare, the Medicare 5-star rating system. Life Care Center of Coeur d'Alene and Life Care Center of Post Falls are proud to have earned a 5-star in the quality measure rating. Life Care Center of North Idaho, serving Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Chewelah Chautauqua is July 14th through the 16th. Vendors will provide new and unique items while you enjoy fun in the Chewelah Park and non-stop free entertainment at the center stage. A carnival, beer garden, parade, and much more. Go to ChewelahChautauqua.com for more information.
The summer sales event is going on now at Dave Smith in Coeur d'Alene. We are dealing on over 900 top quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. 2021 North 4th Street in Coeur d'Alene. DaveSmithCDA.com.
All right, welcome back. It is 6:55, and here are the 4 things that you need to know this morning. A 4-year-old boy died after wandering away from his family and slipping into the Spokane River.
The boy disappeared into the river. KXOY 4's Casey Lund is at the Spokane River this morning with the story.
Yeah, we're here at the Downriver Disc Golf Course. Around hole 8 is where they say that boy went missing. The parents say they turned their backs just for a moment, and then when they looked for him, he was gone. That was around 7:30 when they made that 911 call. An hour later, police and firefighters recovered that body from the river. After being in the water for over an hour, they did pronounce him dead at the scene. They tried everything they could, humanly possible, in fact, to revive that young boy. The fire department tweeting out later that their thoughts and prayers are with the family, and ours at KXOY 4 News are as well.
Well, residents in Moses Lake are under water restrictions today. The city says water usage has caused reservoirs to drop, and the local wells can't keep up with the demand during these hot summer months. To ensure they don't run out of water, Moses Lake residents living on the even-numbered side of the street are allowed to water their lawns and wash vehicles on even-numbered days. And the same is true for odd streets. Addresses can water their yards and cars on odd number days.
Yeah, Cheney also restricting water use. A pump broke in the city's biggest well in late June, so Cheney has banned all lawn watering until the pump can be fixed, which could take up to 2 weeks there.
A wanted felon who led police on a high-speed chase is still on the run this morning. A 5-mile chase ended with a crash in Spokane Valley near Park and Broadway, but the driver got away. He's described as a man in his 30s, last seen wearing camo shorts and a black shirt. If you have any information, contact the Spokane County Sheriff's Office.
All right, here's the deal. It is summertime. We have summer temperatures here, but we're just not seeing any breaks out there, and we're not going to see any for the next 7 days. So today we're going to be, again, warmer than average, about 5 degrees above average, 87 degrees, 90 on Thursday. Friday, again, the hot weather continues at 92, 94 Saturday. Increased cloud cover Saturday. We will see the potential for seeing a shower or two in some of the mountains, so I will run to those. And then we're going to cool a little bit. Temperatures Sunday, Monday into the upper 80s, 85 on Tuesday. Overnight lows are going to be in the 60s and then maybe the 50s next week. But hot and dry continues all the way through next week.
Could definitely use one of those summer storms, but none on the horizon. All right, Mark, thank you.
And thanks for watching Good Morning Northwest. We'll be back in 30 minutes.
All right, see you then.
KXLY 4 News is on now. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Then contact KXLY 4 News.